It's Friday, the 1st of May, 2020, day 50 of the new normal at Santa Monica College.
This is the Pandemic Podcast, your twice-a-week news and culture guide to surviving and thriving in the age of coronavirus. I'm Glenn Zucman.
And I'm Jackie Sedley. Today on the podcast, two artist travelers from Quebec, Canada, Ophélie Rodrigue, and from Salta, Argentina, Sofi Goico. Ophélie, welcome to the Pandemic Podcast.
Hey.
Sofi, you're our first guest from South America. You're also our first guest from the Southern Hemisphere. Here in California, we're in spring heading into summer. You're in fall heading into winter. How's pandemic life in Argentina?
Quite complicated right now. We've been like 1.5 months in isolation. Everything is closed. We are reopening some things, but personally, I'm living with my parents. They are older, so they are considered as risk persons, these people. So I'm staying at home like, I think it was like 1.5 months now.
And Ophélie, how's things up in Quebec?
I'd say it's almost the same. It's very strict here. I can say that I'm kind of a bum sometimes, but still, we still have some government restrictions that we need to follow here as well.
You're both kind of legendary travelers. Sofi, I think you were itching to go back to Australia. Would you, either of you, be anywhere else now if it wasn't for the pandemic? Where would you be?
Yes. In my case, Australia. I was supposed to travel on the 7th of April. And at the beginning, it was pretty funny because at the beginning I was like, oh, I don't know if it's a good time for travel or whatever. And then it was no way to travel. Like, I don't have any chance. I can leave my home. So it's like quite difficult.
So if your trip was 1 month earlier, you might be in Australia instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
And hopefully for you, did you have any plans before all of this started?
To be honest, when the quarantine started, I did a road trip because I was like, oh, I'm off work, so let's start some new adventures. So,
you.
But yes, so me. But now I have 100 plans that I cannot do. So in the moment, I'm respecting the restrictions. So I didn't have the specific plan like Sofi because I never really know what's gonna happen next week because I'm planning today itself. But sure, it's affecting my traveling spirit.
Can you both give us a little bit of context for our listeners of how you both know each other?
Sofi and I met by the couch surfing app. We met in San Francisco and we were both planning to go around LA. So Sofi found Glenn and that's how we started to travel together near Los Angeles. But we met by doing some couch surfing.
It sounds that, like Jackie and myself, that you're both indoors a lot. Are you finding yourself bored or busy, frustrated, or excited for the chance to rethink life and renew? Or how's it working for you emotionally, creatively?
I have my days. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And sometimes I'm really working into myself. I'm like really doing exercise, reading, working on my music as well. So that's a good thing. Like in overall, it was a good time to refocus and to work in myself, I think.
On my side, I kind of feel like I'm in retirement. Because like I said earlier, I'm always moving and I'm always adventuring. So it's kind of the first time that I stop and enjoy here and now in a normal life. And I just started so many new projects that I had in mind before, some photography, some writings, a lot of stuff that I never really did because I was always moving and that I never really took time to invest in. So yeah, I find myself doing some really interesting projects that have been on my mind for a long time. So for me, it's a really great opportunity to be grounded.
Sophie, you're, I take it, itching to go to Australia. It seems like we've got a whole year to wait for this vaccine at the shortest.
Yeah.
Will you just pick up and go at some point, or will you wait this whole thing out?
So I have my flight ticket. It's gonna
You have your ticket?
Yes, I have a ticket. Like, let me in. No, I have my ticket. It's gonna be held for a year. So I convinced myself to stop thinking about the future and say, okay, I'm here right now. I have to do something. So I think I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer. And I really hope to be able to travel to Australia by summer, but you don't know. So yeah, I'm not complaining.
Your summer, so for us, winter, like January.
Yeah, my summer, for you, winter, okay? So I hope that it's gonna be everything fine, or at least a little bit normal, back to normal. But I don't know if I like to say back to normal, because we need to change from this, like.
And when you say back to normal, do you have any thoughts of what that might look like, or any fears, any hopes about how our new normal will adjust after this weird period of transition, stopping, whatever?
I don't have any fear, but I think that we must do a change, like the universe, nature, whatever you like to think about is telling us something, so I'm not fear. I don't feel like fear about the future and, oh my God, what's gonna be or what's gonna happen. But I think that we need to change some things and the way we behave with the world and with nature and with the environment as well.
I've heard that that the isolation is actually proving to be maybe good for the environment, because we're driving cars and taking plane flights less. So maybe the pandemic has forced us to chill out as decades of people talking about climate change didn't. I know one thing that you both enjoy doing is ecstatic dancing. These events where a bunch of people come together. And do you think you'll be going to that kind of event in the coming months, or do you think it's going to be a long time?
I'm sorry, ecstatic dancing. Can we?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Ecstatic dancing.
Sophie will explain.
So it's a movement. It's happening a lot in California, in LA, and in San Francisco as well. I'm doing actually on Sundays ecstatic dancing by Zoom, like online ecstatic dancing. It's really cool. I don't think that in the near future, in the next months, we're gonna have like parties, raves, festivals, and that's a shame, because I like and enjoy it.
Ecstatic dancing is definitely not a social distancing experience.
No.
So much connection.
Yes.
It's really bringing people together. So yeah, it's probably one of the last kind of events that could.
So probably not in 2020.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe 2021.
I don't hear that.
I kind of want to wrap up with this final question. Are you feeling stress in your environments? Are you feeling that the people around you and the places around you are making you more tense about thinking about the future? You both look very positive. You both have big smiles on your faces, and I can't say all of our guests have seemed that way. So what is kind of keeping you both in this attitude?
Some people around me are really stressed, but it kind of just makes me feel even more calm, because I really find that inner peace. I'm really excited about traveling again, about new adventures, and I'm really craving for that. But I'm rediscovering my life. I'm really rediscovering myself on a house lifestyle, and I really enjoy that. And I'm really going deeper into myself and rediscovering many faces of me that I never really been into. And yeah, it's a lot of positivity. So no, I'm not stressed at all. I really just embrace that experience of grounding.
Yeah, the same as for me. Like sometimes I feel a little bit stressed, but because I don't know, my parents are watching so much television and I hate it. Like yeah, the news and things that I don't hear anytime. But then I focus on myself again, and I try to reconnect with myself, with my music, with my books, movies, or whatever I feel like. I think that the outcome at the end is more important. I did a lot of things in this time. I put all my photos together. I made a podcast, like a music set.
Sofi Goico from Salta, Argentina, and Ophélie Rodrigue from Quebec, Canada. Thanks for visiting the Pandemic Podcast.
Thanks for inviting us.
Be safe, be well, and continue to express your humanity.
And check out our podcasts every Wednesday and Friday for new episodes.